Hello everybody and welcome to the latest edition of the Royal Blue Podcast. My name is Joe Thomas. I am of course the Echo's Everton FC correspondent, and this is a special edition of the podcast today because we have got a very special guest. Jack Dowling, first team physical fitness coach at Everton. Probably most people listening or watching this will know you as the person that's responsible for getting Seamus Coleman fit. People like that obviously know you've got a great relationship with him, but you're also a massive inspiration as well, and that's what we're here to talk to you about predominantly here. Obviously in the process of running 26 marathons in 26... I can't even get to the end of that sentence. I don't know how you even get close to that 680 odd miles. How you doing first and foremost?
No, good, yeah. Thanks for having me here. My body is surviving. No, but all good. I'm feeling good. Currently 7 in from this weekend. 7 in from 7 marathons done. 19 to go. So, no, I'm good. Feeling
Absolutely.
good.
So let's just start with a brief introduction to who you are. Obviously, Jack Dowling. How long have you been at Everton?
So I was there for 8 seasons, I think it was, in the academy.
Yeah.
Went through like an internship. I went all the way through to like the under-18s. And then like the lead sports scientist for the academy. I left for a season and went to Blackburn Rovers when Tony Mowbray was there, and I was there for about 11 months. Mm-hmm. And 2 weeks after Frank Lampard became manager, I came back to Everton to work with the first team as a first team physical performance coach. So I've been there since then as well.
And you're big blue as well, are you? So I mean,
oh yeah, lifelong blue, lifelong blue. So. Yeah, it's a dream job.
What is it like being around there? Obviously, I mean, being around a club that you've always supported, that must be special. Like, you must be there all the time just thinking, this is more than a job.
Oh, yeah, it's not a job. It's not a job at the end of the day. I love going to work. You wake up in the morning, I'm very lucky to enjoy getting up and putting the kit on every day and working with the players that we idolise and watch every weekend. So, yeah, it's not a job, and I'm probably living a lot of young boys' dreams as well that I definitely had when I was a kid.
That's it. And the one relationship that you've had that people who listen to this may well know about, because obviously when you started this this campaign, there was a lot of coverage around it. Seamus Coleman came out and supported you a lot. He's somebody you've been working with. Obviously he's on his way back from a long-term injury, isn't he, as well? So I mean, that's your day-to-day, isn't it? Just kind of your fitness coach helping the players get back to their full fitness, and obviously had a busy time over the last few years. But
yeah, that's one part of the job, is working with like long-term rehab cases, making sure they're ready to go back into training, fully fit. And I'm very lucky enough to work with Seamus, who was unbelievable during his rehab. His work ethic was second to none. He put everything in, never skipped any corners, as everyone would expect from Seamus. And then working with the team on day-to-day basis during training and around training times within the gym and that. So yeah, that's probably around a quick snapshot of my day-to-day.
Yeah, and obviously your day-to-day is looking after their fitness and make sure they're in peak condition. But obviously we're here to talk about your fitness and making sure you're in peak condition. So as we started, you said at the start of the show, 26 marathons in 26 weeks, 680 odd miles. So that's the equivalent of running to Berlin. I think we worked out.
Yeah, so right? Someone else worked that out. It's from Liverpool to Berlin.
Yeah. Like, fair play to you. Like, that's absolutely astonishing. So you're doing it for Macmillan, obviously the cancer specialist charity. And for those who don't already know, do you want to just give us a bit of an explanation about what your inspiration is for this? Yeah,
so unfortunately my brother Tom, my older brother, who's mid-30s, was diagnosed 18 months ago with bowel cancer. Went through treatment, and unfortunately undergoing tests. We're trying to get an operation this summer, which they couldn't operate on. So obviously that was really bad news for us and the family, especially Tom as well. And for me, like, how I cope with things is exercise and getting myself out there and doing things and make myself feel better. So from that, I've ran the London Marathon this year. I completed that for a different charity, cardiomyopathy, that was close to my dad. So then I was like, right, I need to do the London Marathon again. I want to do it, but obviously I want to do it for Tom and something that's close to him. And Macmillan have been unbelievable in their support for Tom and the family and what they do for, I'm sure everyone has been touched by Macmillan and what the unbelievable job they do for people all across the country. So selected them, got a place for them, and now I was like, right, I can't just do the London Marathon. I need to do something a bit different, something a bit out there. So then speaking to people, it was right, a few different ideas, but 26 marathons, a marathon of marathons came about, 26 and 26 weeks.
Who came up with that idea?
It was me.
Well,
I had a few different ideas, but I'm not going to say what they are. Yeah, with the London Marathon being the 26th, the final marathon.
Yeah. At what point in, obviously, really difficult time as a family over the past 18 months or so, I think back then you were just saying about how you see kind of physical fitness as a way of coping, dealing with the stress and things like that. At what point did it turn from saying, I need to do this just to help try and get my head around everything that's going on, to I can kind of use this as a fuel to to help and obviously support Tom and support the people that are supporting him?
Yeah, I think once we started talking about the challenge, and the support's been unbelievable, very overwhelming. People want to help me out in organising everything from media, planning routes, support me on routes, taking a lot of work out of my hands, and people are helping me out from there. So from that, I think involving Tom as well in that, so he's having a role to play within that, keeping him busy, keeping him on top of things, which takes his mind off what he's going through in his treatment and keeps his mind on, right, what's Jack doing this weekend, where's he running, what can we do this week? And like, our Tom is quite forthcoming and wants to push everything, so it's been good for him to take his mind off things, and that's perfect. I'm happy doing that.
What did Tom say when you pitched the idea?
He just thought I was crazy. He thought I was crazy. He went, no, there's not a chance you're doing it. And people keep saying that, but honestly, I'm just going for a longer run at the weekends. Like, if I can raise £1 more for Macmillan, that can help another family or help anyone, support, brilliant. If I can inspire someone to come out on the bike who wouldn't come out on a bike, who would go for a run, who didn't think they can run for a mile, if I can do that, it's worth the whole thing.
Your starting point was to try and raise just over £32,000. The whole idea being that would fund a Macmillan cancer specialist for 26 weeks. The duration of this, wasn't it?
Well, the original target was 5,000.
Yeah.
I thought that
you smashed that so quickly.
Yeah, that got obliterated because for the London Marathon you raise £2,000 for your charity, and I went, right, let's set at 5,000. That's quite a big leap. Let's go for that. Got obliterated. So then we set, right, relative. Let's go. What does it cost to fund a Macmillan nurse for 26 weeks? And that was £32,250. And now that has been smashed as well, which is unbelievable. Like, we can't thank enough the people that have supported us and donated.
Just over 36,000.
Yeah, and that's people from all over the world as well who've donated from. Who have seen the story, which is amazing, and we can't thank them enough. So now, after speaking to a few people, we're going to set a new final target, because we can see, look, we're still only 7 in, and we've got 19 to go. Obviously, it's still a long way to go, so can we get 2 nurses for 26 weeks? Can we fund 2 special nurses for 26 weeks? So that new target will be £64,500, which... Look, if we get there, brilliant, amazing. But if we don't, we've raised so much money already.
Well, I mean, you started off with 5,000.
Exactly. So
it must have been like, how overwhelming was it to get to 5,000? Because I mean, when you set out, that would have felt like a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that was before you have all the publicity around it, before you start thinking of the 26 and 26, things like that. Just as a starting point, that must have been quite an incredible feeling.
Oh, it was, and like, just I put it out there, and it just absolutely got blew up, and I didn't expect it at all. I was just like, I'm not doing anything crazy. I don't think I am anyway.
No, I think you are.
I know, and people keep telling me that, maybe because I am a bit crazy, I don't know. But yeah, like, that was just very overwhelming. I honestly can't thank people enough from it, and it's amazing reading like the stories from people who have donated and how many people it's touched, and it's good to see the way that Macmillan do, how much they work, because all the different stories that they have.
Yeah.
Working with different people, and that's why people are donating, because they understand what Macmillan do for families and how important they are within people's cancer treatment.
And what you're doing for families by raising this money. And it's not just the money as well, it's the awareness, isn't it? Because by having this conversation, all the other conversations that you've been having, you've got your Instagram following, your Twitter following, obviously everything that we can do to help try and push what Macmillan do and the support. Obviously, it's been so valuable to you and your family, hasn't it? So
it's been unbelievable. And like, we've had a few conversations. I had a conversation with someone last week over. I was just out in the local area, and we were speaking. She was like, "You're doing the marathons, aren't you?" I said, "I can't thank you enough. What you're doing for Macmillan, it's amazing." Like, they supported her and her sister, Laura, who unfortunately passed away last year. And we had about a 45-minute, hour-long chat on how she struggled talking about it. I've struggled at first talking about it about Tom and the difficulties we've had, and we literally spoke just openly. And she was like, I haven't done this at all. So that, for me, without doing these marathons, we wouldn't have spoken. She wouldn't have been able to speak about what she's been going through. So that for me was that's hitting it.
Priceless,
it's worthwhile.
Conversations, and that's a conversation that probably needed to happen at some point. Hadn't happened so far. It does, because of you and everything that you symbolise with what you're doing.
Yeah, so that was amazing for me, and it gave me a real boost of like, right, this is why I'm doing it. It's not just I'm running. It's I want to speak to people. I want to get people talking. If anyone who's struggling, who's got a family member themselves or whatnot, I'm happy to speak with people. Like, there's nothing better than talking to someone.
No.
Which sometimes we are crap at.
Yeah.
So speaking is the best thing we can do.
Yeah, that's another powerful message among the powerful messages that you're spreading. So in terms of the challenge, obviously you started 7 weeks ago, because we're 7 weeks in. Just take me back to the weeks before you started. Like, how much preparation? Because obviously, naturally, you're a fit person. You'd run the London Marathon, But I mean, what were you doing in the build-up? Were you having to, do extra bits and pieces to try and get yourself in, get your body set for what's really like a grueling endurance challenge?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit different, because usually when you're running for a marathon, you're trying to peak at that on that marathon day, whereas I'm not. I'm trying to survive basically as I go through. So once I decided, I started building up my mileage and making sure my body's getting used to getting pound on the roads basically, and I'm training into it. So the first probably 2 or 3 marathons, I'm not fully fit, but I'm feeling like right and just getting.
So it's not like, say, obviously you say for a normal marathon you would train to peak at that marathon.
Yeah,
you're not doing like almost a week by week, where for each week you're trying to peak on that Sunday when you do it. You're just saying, I've got a block of 26 and I've got to try and survive through them.
Just make sure my body's ready to survive. And week by week at the minute, I'm not doing much, to be fair. No. Like, I might go out once running very slowly just to get the legs going again, but it's more recovery. How can I recover my body, get it going again, get the soreness out, the joints looser, and get ready to go again each weekend.
Yeah. Just before you started, you had a blaze of publicity. Like, I was one of the reporters, lucky enough to get at Finch Farm and speak to both you and your brother. What was that like for you? Because obviously, I mean, you spend so much of your life on the periphery of a big media circus. Yeah. And like, for that 1 week, and obviously since then a little bit as well, for you were the centre of attention. Was that quite surreal?
Oh yeah, it was crazy, and I did get a lot of stick for it as well. I did get a lot of stick for it, but it's all from all the players, all the staff. I was the face of the Jack Dowling show, they called it, and they're still calling it. But it's all for the right reasons, course, and we can't thank the club enough for supporting us and backing us.
That's important, is that they understand that as well. It's incredible.
I put it forward to the club and what I was doing, and they fully backed it and organised everything, which was very overwhelming to see your face on Sky Sports News and ITV. Yourselves have done unbelievable, and how you've publicised the challenge. We can't thank people enough for sharing it, because that's all we want to do: share the message, share the story. And make sure people can see it.
When you set out for that first run, so you started that first mile of the 680 odd, what was that like? Were you nervous? Were you emotional? Or were you just very much set on this is the start of a long journey and try to keep it
It's hard to say. I was excited.
Yeah.
I definitely like I speak with the players in the week. Are like, oh, do you not dread it? Or the week, are you not like? But it's similar to them, I would say, because like the marathon is my game day.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my match.
Yeah.
So like at the start of the week after the game, so after I've run, you're tired, you're sore, and you're like, oh, I need to get going again. But it's quite hard after they've played the game we've ran. But then the closer you get to that game, or the closer you get to my run, I'm like, oh no, I'm excited now. I want to get me on the pitch, get me there. That's all I want to do. I just want to get there, get to the start line, and right, let's go.
Yeah.
So every week, like I'm just excited to get going. I've probably had 2 where I've gone up and I've gone, I'm not feeling this today.
Yeah.
But it's I'm bound to have them days, and just going back to the reason I am doing it and what I have done. What we are doing with the fundraising, that's just right. Forget about everything. You might be having a crap day, but just crack on, and that's what I do. Just crack on.
Of course. Obviously, most of the runs have been on Merseyside so far, haven't they? Was one in London for the West Ham game? Was that the overnight?
So that was my second one. We played West Ham on a Sunday, so I ran on a Saturday evening when we got down there. Yeah, so that was good. It was different. Bit stop start in the traffic.
Oh yeah, I bet.
But it was good. It was just a change of scenery, and you see the landmarks, and people came out who got in touch via the social media, so that was unbelievable as well. And then the rest have been round Liverpool. Most have been round Liverpool.
You've had some quite good experiences, haven't you, with people just like people you've never met before, and enjoying you so far. I mean, what have been some of the best? Yeah,
I've got one down in London, I'd probably say was quite surreal. So someone shared the Instagram story, anyone fancy a run in London? And their cousin contacted and said, yeah, I'll come and join you. And then Rob ended up running the whole marathon with me after running an ultra marathon the weekend before.
Wow.
So it was crazy, and like kept me good support. And we, after all the lads clapped me in the hotel, which was really nice. We then had some food, and I'd probably say that was quite special.
Absolutely. I bet those experiences, whenever they happen, they obviously spur you on a little bit. Like when you're some of the darker moments when you're mile 13 or whatever, and to say it's the 6th in 6 weeks, it must be nice when you see you get a toot of a car horn, or someone comes and does a mile with you or something like that.
It definitely. I think that's the power of like the social media and seeing people understanding what I'm doing and the applause. I meet so most Sundays we run a run club in Crosby called a Live Fitness Run Club. So for the last hour I try and make sure I'm running with them, and they spur me on because I am struggling within that last final bit, which is probably expected, but like they spur me on. Usually in the first half, it's 15 miles, I'm okay. I can crack on, and I've had people with me. I've got my support team of usually on the bikes. There's a few people on the bikes. My dad's in the van, which is great. So I've got the support. The support team's unbelievable, and that keeps me going. And when I get someone running with me for a bit, like people from work, a lot of people have joined me, and that's inspirational to see. Like someone's ran their first marathon with me. In the 4th week, he ran his first marathon. So just seeing him do that, and I've been able to help him do part of that was really good as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And then obviously last week, probably one of your harder ones. I was following you on the Instagram, and you were ill.
Yeah. So
there was real jeopardy going into it last week. So you were going to be able to complete it, wasn't it?
No, I was due to run on Saturday. I wasn't. I was just going to be at Finch Farm with the injured players in the morning and then run from Finch Farm back home. But unfortunately, on Friday morning, just woke up with a stomach bug. It wasn't that good. So I was in bed all Friday. And I was just like, because I hadn't eaten anything on the Friday, I was like, I can't run on Saturday. And I've been lying in bed, but then Friday morning, I felt a lot better. Tried to get quite a bit of food down me. I was like, no, I think it would have hurt me more not running. Really? So I was right, I'm going out on Sunday. A lot of people are like, it's okay, Jack, you can not miss one, but catch it up, or you can give yourself a rest, let your body rest, but I don't do that. I can't. I wouldn't have coped well with that. So like mentally, I was just like, no, I'm running. And so I went out solo. Like I never shared my route or anything. I had the 2 people on my bikes and the van, so I knew I had people to grab my drinks and that, which was brilliant. So yeah, I just went out solo and actually really enjoyed it.
Really?
I felt really, like, I don't know why, maybe a day in bed is sometimes good. But like, yeah, it was good. A bit icy at times, but no, I felt strong.
You still did it under 4 hours as well, didn't you? I mean, bear in mind you were there with a singles bug and...
Yeah. I was lucky it was only like a 12-hour bug, but like 3 hours 40 with it in this weekend. Yeah.
Are you keeping much of an eye on those times? Like, are you trying to set parameters for each, or is it just get through it?
No, I want to try and keep it under 4 hours, ideally. Otherwise, just time on your feet and time away from the house and your day. So obviously, it is taking over my life, but I don't want it to take over my family life as well. Of course. Yeah, trying to keep it under 4 hours, which so far we've been around between 3:36 and 4:49. Yeah. So keeping it around that,
That's consistency.
Yeah,
that is. Fair play. Like, obviously you're 7 in now, so like, where's your mindset at the moment? How if you look back now at the last 7 weeks, are you pleased with how they've gone, and how the next 19 look to you? Do they look daunted? Does this look harder than when it started, or do you feel like you're getting into the swing of things now?
No, so like this weekend was I think that's why I wanted to get out. It's a big milestone for me, getting to the teens.
Right. Okay.
So like I was like, I think I was on the 24th, and I was like, well, this is quite big. I've still got a lot to go. But I was like, right, just ticking off like you do when you're running, tick off the little target. So getting into the teens was good. But I find the hardest part of my marathon is probably around 40 miles to 18, 19 miles, usually the hardest bit. So I think that's going to be from 19 marathons to 14. That's going to be quite hard for me mentally. But I know once I've got through there, I'm at halfway. Yeah. I'm at that halfway point, and then, right, we're cracking on, then we're going to single figures. So it's just setting them little targets to get to. And no, I'm excited. I just want to keep going and raise as much money, raise as much awareness as we can.
And how, obviously, we know, from a fan perspective, the festive period is obviously just so busy, isn't it, for games? Mm-hmm. How easy is it looking for you to fit everything in around? Because obviously you've got a family and you've got Christmas. So, like, I mean, how are the next few weeks looking for you?
Busy because we've got a lot of games and over the Christmas period. So how it falls, we can probably do most Sundays. Mm-hmm. I think one of the Sundays with our run club, they're running a trail run over in Manchester. Yeah. So rather than me, I think it'd be stupid for me to do a full marathon as a trail. Yeah. Because of risk of injury. Of course. So I'm going to do a marathon on the roads, but finish with the last 11K as like the trail 11K with them. And then over Christmas, we play Tottenham on the 22nd. 23rd, sorry. But I might be... We're in on the 20 on Christmas Eve, so I'm like, I'm not sure what to do there around Christmas Eve. We haven't planned it fully out, but I think I probably will run Christmas Eve. Maybe I've spread it out across a week because it's so busy. And
that Tottenham game is a nightmare, I think, for fans of Mr. Obviously, trying to get back to me family. Like, looking back at that, I must admit, I was just convinced it was going to get moved to the 5:30, and I was thinking it's just going to destroy Christmas. For Christmas Eve to Boxing Day. So it's quite pleasing they kept it to 3:00, and now we booked our trains for that. Me and Chris Beasley, my colleague, yesterday. So just praying that the trains stay on, because they cancelled them for pounds. Yeah. And they managed to just about fudge it, but like, I don't want to get stuck in. Don't want to be waking up in London on Christmas Eve.
No. And that's the thing. So, like, sometimes they get changed last minute and TV changes. So like, we just got to be ready, and you've
got to be agile, just flexible.
Yeah, just move things, and I always work out, but making sure we're getting out there. So that's just part of the job, unfortunately. But yeah, no.
Where are you? Where do your thoughts go when you're on these 3-hour 40 runs? I mean, do you listen to podcasts or music, or are you left it in your ears?
Yeah, I have one earphone in. Yeah. And house music.
Yeah, house music.
Yeah, it's just house music. It's like 6:15, it's bouncing. we're off. Like me, I'm two-stepping all the way. Yeah. So I have one headphone with house music all the way around. Couple of chats. Mentally, it's just to keep going. Yeah. Like, I'd just have a few chats for myself. Maybe like, just, you're fine. Yeah. Crack on with it. just keep going forward, just keep putting the next step in front of you, and just keep going.
And like a minute ago, you said how like mile 14 to 18 is the kind of hard bit. Is that psychological toughness, or is that your body? Is that physical? Like,
bit
of both.
Bit of both. I think mentally, because you just hit the halfway mark, and that's a good. Halfway there, but then you've still got a far way to go, and until you get to that 19-20 where you feel like you're on that home stretch of like the last 10k.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in no man's land a little bit.
Yeah.
In your body, you start feeling your body, and you're like, oh, what's that? What's that in your head? And you start thinking about things, but then you just got to know. Like, I've learned a lot about these runs now, and knowing when that comes. So I'm just like, right, you're fine, Jack, just crack on. There's no problem, just crack on. And I just zone out and be like, oh, you zone out for 5 minutes and you've ended up in a different place, and you're like, well, I've already ran here, so I can run even more now. So like, yeah, it's a mind game.
Yeah, I'd like to say I had the situation, but the one marathon that I did was just a 26-mile wobble. So I was just can't do it.
Yeah,
so got over the
it
line,
is. It's one of them. It's never you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's you don't want to do it.
Yeah,
it's people. That's what I keep saying to myself. You might. People say, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't run. I can't run. Like when people say, I was like, you can run, you just don't want to run.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And they're like, oh, yeah, probably. So like everyone can run if able to, obviously. So it's just that sort of no, I can attitude. I can do attitude.
And we touched on it earlier. Obviously, you've had so much support, both obviously from family, from friends, from the Alive Running Club, from Everton Football Club and that as well. And obviously one of the things that I've seen on social media recently is the Royal Blue Runners.
Yeah.
So this is talk to us about how this came into.
It was quite a surprise for me. The lads in work obviously wanted to help me out and back what I was doing, and we've done a couple of challenges as staff. I Everton just to help like general health or whatnot. But they set up what they've done is like there's a group of about 20 of them now. With my total distance from Liverpool to Berlin, what they've done is doubled that, and between them per month are going to complete that distance. So last month they just did it, but like a lot of them, like I said, were ill for a week. There's a bit of illness going across. So for them, that's almost 2,200 kilometres. Yes,
a month.
yeah, 2,200 kilometres per month in between them.
Yeah,
between them. There's a couple that can go on the bike. A couple of walks, but like most of them are running, and like it's just getting people out, and it's raising money for Macmillan, which is amazing for us. So that's good support, knowing that they're getting out and running, like with the back in it, and it's you're just trying to build
that must give you a boost as well. Because I mean, obviously, we know everything about you're doing. We've already spoke about how overwhelming it is seeing the fundraising target go up and up. Well, sorry, the fundraising amount go up and up and up. Obviously, you've increased the target as a result of that. We spoke about what it does from a family perspective as well, and we've also spoke about from a mental health perspective, some of those conversations that you've been having with people, because they've opened up to you after seeing what you've done, but also getting those other people out running as well. Like, I mean, there are so many positive strands to something that probably just felt like a bit of a pipe dream, in the middle of the summer. Yeah,
that's what it is. I didn't expect anything. I just thought, it's just going to be me going out for a marathon each week, pretty lonely, and just cracking on. And I didn't expect any of this. No. Like, it's, like I said, very overwhelming. I'm very privileged and honoured to have this support behind me and people that I've helped, and it's a massive boost.
You deserve everything you're getting. It's incredible what you do. Your plan is to finish on the London Marathon. Is that right?
Yeah.
So how distant does that feel at the moment, and how special do you think that'll be to complete this? On such a big occasion.
Yeah.
Or can you not allow yourself to feel that far ahead?
I do, and like part of me is like when I'm in tough times, it's always. I've listened to Chris Hoy a few times, visualization of crossing that finish line, and what do you want to feel like crossing that finish line, and that's sometimes right what I'm doing when I'm running. I'm like, right, how is that going to feel when I cross? When you do want to stop and give up, how is it going to feel when you cross that line at London? Go run down the mile and completed 26 marathons. And that's my last one. So that's always in the back of my head. I'm really excited for that. Yeah, it doesn't feel far away for me. Like no, like I'm starting to think I'm in December, end of January is the halfway mark, and that's not far away for me. So, and fortunate in football because it's so fast paced, time just flies.
It does, doesn't it? Like working in it or in and around, like it's just mad, isn't it?
Yeah, with the games, especially December flybys, and then you're in January. So no, I'm sure it'll come along quick.
I reckon Deitch will be there with a big banner for you just on the finish line.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, no, but the support like from the gaffer and the players have been really good, and they're always asking me how it's going, and really, it's nice to have their support from them as well to help me keep going just each week.
Well, congratulations, everything you've achieved so far. Good luck for everything that's going to come. You've got all our support. I'm sure everybody that's listening, watching, whatever, reading the stories that come from this, so supportive of you and want the best for you and for your family and for Tom, of course, as well. Yeah, really appreciate you joining us, talking us through this. It's been our privilege to have you on, so thank you very much.
No, thank you. No, I appreciate that. Really appreciate the support and everything from everyone. So, thanks for the time.
No problem at all. And obviously you can follow you on Instagram. It's Project 2626 everywhere, isn't it? So Instagram, Twitter,
social media, on the webpage, Project 2626.info. And people don't have to donate if you just want to share the post, share the story. That means the world to me. So
as we've covered already, like every bit of support, isn't it? Whether it's a kind word or a common shared story.
Yeah.
That all makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
Thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate it, Jack. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.